This week I'd like to share about friendship, true friendship, as Christ would want it, as Christ would have us be friends. I'm going to read John's first letter, chapter 3, verse 16 to 18, from the New Living Translation and then from the Living Bible. We know what real love is because Jesus gave up his life for us. So we also ought to give up our lives for our brothers and sisters. If someone has enough money to live well and sees a brother or sister in need but shows no compassion, how can God's love be in that person? Dear children, let's not merely say that we love each other. Let us show the truth by our actions. Amen. And now from the Living Bible. We know what real love is from Christ's example in dying for us, and so we also ought to lay down our lives for our Christian brothers and sisters. But if someone who is supposed to be a Christian has money enough to live well and sees a brother in need and won't help him, how can God's love be within him? Little children, let us stop just saying we love people. Let us really love them and show it by our actions. Amen. For those who have been following these short messages every week, first of all, I'd like to say thank you. But you would know that it's been a particularly difficult couple of weeks for me. I've fallen for a scam and lost a lot of money. I now have to go to the bank tomorrow morning. Unless by some miracle, between now and then, the money goes back into my bank account. I've lost £680. I'm not asking, I'm just asking for prayer. I was talking to a friend from China, a dear friend that I've known for many years. She's like family to me and I love her to pieces. She's a young mother and wife and has the most beautiful baby boy. And we were talking and catching up because she sent me a gift, a belated Christmas gift, a beautiful gift. And we were talking and then we talked on video. And I just shared a bit about what was happening. And it was late, so I ended the call so she could go to sleep. Literally within 5 minutes she said, I will send you some money through PayPal. I want to help you. I didn't ask for anything, but that was so touching, so loving. This girl who's been in my life as a dear friend, almost like a daughter to me, or a niece. And I said, no, I don't use PayPal. But thank you anyway, you need the money for yourself. Far too often we hear of Christians who, when you have a difficult time or I have a difficult time, we hear about Christians that say, oh, it's your fault. Oh, you should do this better, do that better. And I've seen it. I've also experienced it. But I still have to love them. And I pray that God will soften their hearts. I've had some wonderful friends in my time. I've had some friends who've said that they're Christian that's been quite the opposite at times. If I see someone in need and I can help them, I will, to the best of my ability. Ask yourself, do you? My dear friend from China, she introduced me to my church in Southampton when I lived there. I used to help Chinese students settle. And she basically saved my life because I was in such a bad time. So I'm forever in her debt. Is God's love within you? Or are you just saying that you love people? I have seen ministers saying that they love people, this, that and the other, but don't always show it by their actions. I've seen elders and leaders of churches exactly the same. But I've seen the poorest person, the meekest person in the corner of a church that can be so generous. So things have got me thinking this week. Lord, do I help others enough? Jesus died for me. He died for you. He gave up his life. Doesn't he say, no man has greater love than this, that he lays his life down for another? And we should do the same. I'm not saying you should empty bank accounts for people, but what I will say is, do we make time for other people? If we haven't seen someone for a long time or talked to them, do we give them a call or a message and say, how are you? How are you really? Do you need anything? Sometimes it's difficult living on my own. And I know there are other people worse off than me. Sometimes I just need to talk to somebody. Sometimes I just need a hug in the right way. Sometimes I just need some encouragement. And I'm sure you feel the same as well. So, please, if you see someone in need, not just financially, help them. Let that light shine from you. Stop just saying that we love people. Let's really love them and show it by our actions. Actions speak louder than words. Don't be just sayers. Be doers. Don't be the person who says, do as I say, not as I do. Be that person who practices what you preach. The Lord bless you. And please, don't hide it if you are in need. If I can help in any way, I always will. What I have, I'm willing to give. I hope you can say the same as well. Ask yourself. So I ask myself, do I give enough? Do I do enough for the Lord? So the Lord bless you, give you his peace always. Until next time, Amen.